There are some secret societies, and one of the major secret societies is called the Illuminati. So now, apparently, they're evil, and not only that, but they're into how can I put it? Satan worshiping. They have a lot of rituals. They send out a lot of subliminal messages, which I've been talking about, a lot recently about subliminal messages that you find everywhere. And so apparently they recruit a lot of people in the government, banking business, in the entertainment industry is one of the biggest ones. And they recruit these people when they hit it big. For example, when Lady Gaga hit it big, when she first came out, she hit it big. So then they noticed that she hit it big, that she had an influence over the world and the people with her music. So then they would approach someone like that, and they would, somehow they would ask them to join their secret society, and they promised them riches and power and fame and money and sex and drugs and whatever they want. So apparently, a lot of today's entertainers, singers and actors and everything in the entertainment industry, they are part of this secret society. So then what happens is they send out subliminal satanic messages through their songs, through their videos, in their movies, in their shows, whatever they're promoting or whatever they're in, they work, their projects. And, so a lot of today's divas are part of that, including allegedly Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Rihanna, Katy Perry, the list goes on and on. So that's kind of what, I've been researching online. I have an open mind because I say, okay, so let's say there's a 50-50 chance that this could be true. For me personally, if there's a 50-50 chance, I think it's enough for me to go and research it and find out what it's about, right? Because it deals with something very important in our lives. So that's, and I wrote my article about that, and I know a lot of people think I'm crazy and that I'm going nuts and that I'll believe anything on the internet. But, I'm an intelligent person. I don't believe everything they tell me, especially because I don't believe everything the media tells me. That's why I go and do my own research online, on YouTube, especially because there's a lot of videos on that on YouTube. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. You read my article. What did you think?
I did. I read your article, and I think it did a good job because it inspired me to do my own research. And I sat down, and a good part of Saturday went through a lot of the researching and the YouTube. And I feel like I'm missing something. So I need more specific things to look at. And I want to know specifically what was so convincing to you, because I think that a lot of it was sort of based in this idea of a lot of the examples that they were trying to show were deep rooted in like the Bible and things that the Bible said and things that you have to kind of take as a truth within itself. And I mean, if you take the Bible as truth, then I can see how some of it might be interesting, and I found it to be kind of coincidental, a lot of it. And I don't feel that I believe it anymore now than I did after your article. So, I mean, what are some of the things that really turned you to start believing it? Yeah.
Well, before anything, I do have to mention that a lot of the videos were done by religious fanatics because they think, satanic, ooh, we're scared, don't listen to that music, don't go see those movies. So a lot of it was done by religious fanatics. I am aware of that. But then when I saw that other people who were not religious fanatics, they were just hip-hop fans, movie fans, people that are into researching more and not believing what the media tells you, then I was like, okay, so it's not just the religious fanatics that are, believe in this. It's other, people who are not religious fanatics who believe in that. And then that's when I was kind of like, okay, well then, I think this definitely needs more research. And I've been researching it, like, I've been watching all the videos. Like, one video leads you to another one, and so I've been doing a lot of research. That's why it took me all these months to finally say, okay, I'm going to write this article because I really believe it. And I still believe, okay, there's a 50-50 chance that it could be a hoax or that it could be true. But that's why I'm saying it's like, even if there's a 50% chance, don't you think you owe it to yourself to research it and find out what it's about?
Well, I totally agree with you, and I think that there's a lot that we don't know about as a society, about the way the world is run. I mean, look at 40 years of dictatorship in Egypt. This family has been running Egypt for 40 years, and they're now only revolting, which the women are standing up to because they have decided that they want to be in the new constitution in the new Egypt and have rights as well. So, I mean, a lot of things are happening. I think that, the Freemasons have been around for a long time, and that whole idea of, what they're about. Scientology scares me. I think there's a lot of strange things happening there. I think there's a lot, whether or not it involves devil worship and Satanism. But again, you have to believe in Satan, and you have to believe in the Bible and what all of that is. Which, I don't know if it's... I don't know. I don't know that I believe it, but I think that there's a lot going on that we don't know about.
Right. Also, another thing that someone mentioned, someone left a comment saying, I don't believe in God. I'm sorry, no. They left a comment saying, I don't believe in the devil, which I know a lot of people don't. I'm not sure I believe in the devil, but what I do know is that some people passionately believe in the devil. They believe in God. So the ones that do believe in the devil, they want to promote evilness. So obviously evilness does exist, whether the devil exists or not, evil doings exist. So these people that do believe in the devil and that may be part of this secret society, they're promoting evil ways and, trying to corrupt our society, starting from children till adults and beyond. And, so that's why we definitely have to take that into consideration, even if we don't believe in the Satan, other people do. So they, go out of their way to promote evil things because they're trying to please their Satan or whatever. So that's another thing. Also, I mean, there's so many branches that I want to talk about that's like, because also another thing is that I have to mention this before anything else, that these secret societies, especially the Illuminati, they accept the gay community because in their mind, being gay and part of the LGBT community is a sin. So then they want to promote that because they want to corrupt our children and the people. So that's another thing to take into consideration. I don't necessarily believe that aspect of it because I know, being LGBT is not a sin, but it also being LGBT could be a sin. For example, people that just go out and have promiscuous, unsafe sex, you're hurting your health, you're hurting other people. So it just depends. And then something like being an alcoholic, obviously it's not a sin to have a drink once in a while, but if you're being an alcoholic, then you're promoting evil, bad things. And the same thing with so that's what I'm trying to say, is that they take it as being gay is a bad thing, so they want to promote that to sort of corrupt our society. But like I'm saying, being gay could be a sin depending on how you live your lifestyle or promote.
But I mean, I think being human, no matter how you live your life, is going to dictate whether or not you're a good example or not. I think people who are alcoholics obviously are putting people who drive and who drink or, putting people's lives at risk. Anyone having promiscuous sex is going to be putting other people at risk. I don't, I think that, as humans, we all have to make the right choices. And I think that, people are scared of sin. They don't know what sin is. They don't know what is going to, affect them in their afterlife if that's what they believe in. So I think that it plays on a lot of fears. And I think that the government plays on our fears a lot as well. And I think that, like, the major point that you've been making, which is the most important one, is do your research and know what's going on out there, and make sure, your research is coming from a place that, is reputable and, has some kind of back to it.
Yeah, and that was the reason why I wrote that article. And I'm like, I'm not going to put all the facts and everything because I just want to introduce it to people and want them to do their own research so that people can start learning to do your own research. Don't just listen to whatever television tells you. Don't listen to what they ask you to listen, they force you to listen to on the radio every day, on television, at the movies. It's like, do your own research and about the news, about the media, like one of the things that they say that the Illuminati people do is that they bring in people like Charlie Sheen or Lindsay Lohan to distract the masses so they can be talking about that, and they won't be talking about what's happening in Egypt or in all these other parts of the world. And that's how they distract us because what's going on with this Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan things? It's like ridiculous. It's like all over the news, everything on TV, everywhere. And it's like, whenever something like that happens, I'm like, okay, I got to pay attention. What's going on in other parts of the world? Why are they trying to distract me from that with this stupid, silly, ridiculous, celebrity lifestyle?
That's only in the United States. Like, United States Americans want to see that. That's what people want to see. If you go to other countries, they don't care as much about celebrity. And, the reporting in other countries is not, inundated with Charlie Sheen. I can't believe Charlie Sheen has been on the news now constantly, like on regular world news. And I mean, here in the United States. And it's amazing to me that but Americans want that. They're somehow fulfilling what Americans want to watch and what's going to get good ratings. So, I mean, there's kind of a double-edged sword with that. Yes, they're putting that out there, but that's what Americans want, and that's what Americans want to fill their brain with.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that's what Americans want, because what happens is that they've been brainwashing us all these years with that then people start to want it because that's what you're giving them. You know what I mean? So like it goes back to them again, that they're feeding us that so much that then we're expecting it, we're waiting for it. We're waiting for a tweet from Charlie Sheen, or we're waiting for, Perez Hilton to post the latest drunken picture of Charlie Sheen. So like they're feeding it to us so much all over the media that then we start to crave it. You know what I mean? It's like an addiction, but they're the ones feeding it to us. And that's how we get addicted to it. I've been a big celebrity fan, my whole life. That's why I know this. And I think that's one of the reasons why it was good that I was a big celebrity fan of Madonna and all these people, because I got to learn firsthand how they manipulated me to want more Madonna and, want more Charlie Sheen or whatever the case may be. So that's what I believe,
Yes. I mean, a lot of crazy shit. We depend on what our media puts in front of our face, and there's only so much that they do present to us. So the real, thing, the real lesson here is to do your research, find out what's really going on, educate yourself, know who owns your media sources. General Electric owns NBC, Time Warner, Disney owns ABC. Like, know where your news is coming from and educate yourselves and be smart.
Yes. And definitely do your own research. Now, very quickly back to the devil divas. Some of the symbolism, because there's a lot of symbolisms. You have to look for symbolisms in the music videos and movies and everywhere. And let me just show you what some of the symbolisms are with your hands that they do in the music videos and all that. So,
all right.
This is, okay, so this is the pyramid. You see Jay-Z and Beyonce doing that a lot, which is the pyramid that's in the back of the dollar bill, and then they do this, meaning, you know, one eye.
And what does that mean?
Well, that's they're sending out their message that they're part of the Illuminati and that, you know, they're representing their secret society or whatever it is. So it just means, you know, the pyramid from the back of the dollar. That's very big with them, the pyramid, because that's one of their symbolisms for whatever reason. And then with the eye on top, you know, the pyramid.
Like Madonna's jacket in Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yeah, exactly, like Madonna's jacket in Desperately Seeking Susan. And it's everywhere. You'll see it, the pyramid. And then another one is, of course, the devil's horns. You know that.
Yeah.
Usually people think it's like rockers, like rock on, you know. Some people use it for that, but not everybody does. So this is one of their symbolisms. You see a DVD with Celine Dion. Yes, I said Celine Dion. And she has it like that. And I'm like, on the cover of her DVD, you look it up and you'll find it. And I'm like, why is Celine Dion doing that? She's not a rocker chick, you know. She's like...
And it's definitely this, not this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's both.
Well, because this in sign language is I love you.
Okay, yeah, no, it's this one.
So this is I love you.
It's both, but this one, definitely.
Okay.
So that's another one of the symbolisms.
But what if someone's doing sign language and they're saying I love you?
Well, good. Then they're not being Illuminati, you know.
Oh, okay.
promoters.
All right.
Yeah. And then the other one that I just found out about is the OK, which you can see on Beyonce's video and Lady Gaga a lot, which is the OK. A lot of people say it's OK. How do they do it? Yeah, like this. They say OK. Some people say OK, you know. But for them, this means the 666. If you can see it out there, it's 666. So that's a 666 symbol. You know, these are just some of the things that they send out subliminally because you don't see them. Sometimes they're just like this, you know, and like...
But I mean, also in other cultures, things like this, you know, represent,
like
you know, Indian culture and different Eastern cultures. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that it could be that, you know, are interpreted by people in different ways. And symbolism, you know, is supposed to be open and interpreted in different ways to different people.
But, for example, I've seen Madonna do that in her videos, but when she was doing the Indian look or the, like, whatever that look was specific to, you know, whatever her look at the time was. So that I understand. I'm like, okay, so she's doing that for that, you know, reason, whatever. Or Shakira doing, you know, that. But when you have a music video...
Is Shakira Illuminati?
I don't know if she is. I think she's being used by the Illuminati. Because a lot of these artists are being used by the Illuminati, but they're not part of it. Some of them are part of it, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Rihanna, the big ones. But others are just like Justin Bieber is the big, huge one. Why do you think Justin Bieber just blew up? You know, because they promote him so much and they send out all the, you know, satanic messages or Illuminati messages through Justin Bieber.
To
and
our
that's
children, no less.
Yes, of course. So anyways, there's so much to talk about. But yeah, like some of them, like I said, some of the videos that have nothing to do with being Hindu or anything like that, and they have these. So those are the ones you have to look for, which is Beyonce and Lady Gaga. But anyway, so those are my beliefs. I believe in that. Like I said, there's a 50-50 chance that it's not true, that it's just a hoax. But then there's that other 50 chance that it tells me that it could be true. So that's why I'm like, do your research and see what you find and what you believe and not believe in.
Yeah. I do not believe. I think that there's a lot of stuff going on, and, you know, who knows what it means, and it all sort of stems from the artists themselves and what they're expressing.